It's a beautiful day here, and it's on June the 1st, 2020, on Monday. As I found out last Monday, about a week ago, since George Floyd's death was nailed down by the police, it was very, 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 this whole stuff remained to be seen. It was about a week ago since the life that took the life of George together. What we have to live together as one. The sad thing is, everything can happen. It's heartbreaking, angry, and that's the way it is. It is what it is. The people that didn't know, everybody knows that racism is wrong. Killing is wrong. Killing stuff, telling stuff, blowing the buildings and cars, very, very wrong. And I know people in Minnesota, Washington, Raleigh, North Carolina, it's time for it to stand up. I know that we've been this before. Whites had took the streets Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And in Atlanta, there's some damage. Just a little bit that destroyed the CNN Center. And then the brawl broke out in Los Angeles, California on Friday. Then starting in New York, all hell just went broke loose. Got very ugly. But I say this once and for all. This whole stuff's gotten way out of control. The whole stuff of this stuff came with a chain reaction by those bloodeds. There are demonstrators all over the world, and people in the freeway and jumping up top of the gas tankers. Everything that came out. The governments didn't know what they had to do. So what are they doing? Nothing. Just sitting here and watching these people doing some stuff. And I know it's angry enough. I said this before. I said Friday. I seen it Friday, Saturday, and yesterday. Now I'm seeing it all. This whole stuff going on between back in the day. Back in the day, while I was in here watching the movie Car, Do the Right Thing. The movie has been the story of this movie. Spike Lee had did the song. Spike Lee did their thing. He had did his thing. Do the Right Thing, the movie has been all the way back when the movie has started back in 1989. It was a hot and 100-degree day in Brooklyn, New York. And he was doing a walking at the pizza. And I know that time, a long time about this, it happened about 31 years ago. Spike Lee was a director, and he was an actor. And when he knows when he's doing the pizza, he was in here taking orders and had to deliver. And when he found out it was Waiter Hakeem, Waiter Hakeem had this radio. Listen to the music, fight the power. And he had those brand knuckles on. So when Spike Lee and Hakeem, they were talking about, where I'm talking about right here, he was at his fist, and he had a lot of respect with Mookie. Well, Hakeem had a lot of respect with Mookie. And they were when they talk, it was all about, well, that's what I know. And that's what I've been thinking about. So, love, Mookie, Wader Hakeem had to get love with Mookie. That's what Spike Lee is talking about. We're going to go back. What has been coming out in all this concerns? It's called what? That's the story. This is the story that I've been doing about. And yes, it is. It is kind of a fun move. It was the movie that it was started about 31 years ago. You're the one continuous had to release. He was very frustrated at night on CNN, and he was pissed. It says Spike Lee's version "Do the Right Thing" in short film release after George Floyd's death. It was 19. It was last week, and it hasn't been doing this before, and we're gonna go for this right now. And it says June 1st, 2020, and it says Spike Lee recognizes how Valletta, his 1989 film, Do the Right Thing, continues to be. That the Oscar-winning black film is short. And we're going to go for this one right in my just a moment. Well, I saw that movie back in 1989 when he was in a pizza place. And the boss told Mookie that he going to remain Sal's. Sal's won the store. Crossed to the pizza place. They gave him orders. And then Sal let them in. He let them in. They sat down. Until all of a sudden, it was William Hakeem with his friend with a longer than blue short, I believe. And then William Hakeem got and Sales and the rest of the people, his people, about to get ready to war. Sal had his back. And then he raised the bet. William Hakeem couldn't believe it. His will is broken. And then Sal just killed the radio. Now Hakeem, raising mad, he got into Sal's face and got to his shirt, and they started fighting. And all hell just broke loose at the pizza store. And Sal's all over in this place. It just spilled all over the place. Pinning him down, and they're still fighting. And the old man tries to break them up. And then the police came, and the crowd just wowed, and that night there was a fight, and the crowd just came out. They went over, they went on and Cheryl Hakeem, and the police came over, talking about the bad cop thinks he's a bad cop, and he have Rayla Hakeem's neck, and he starts choking him. He starts choking him, and he starts choking him. Like 2 minutes. It was trying to start choking on about 1 2 minutes. And then the next thing you know, they killed him. They killed Waylon Hakeem. And then those were mad cops. And then they had to drag Hakeem into the police squad car and they drove away. And we all know Hakeem's dead. Waylon Hakeem's dead. That was an actor movie and a sad movie at all. Now, in Brooklyn, New York, people on the streets are angry, mad about. They were angry and mad. Sounds Waylon Hakeem, Spike Mookie just got angry at Sal's That was one of my friends. So he got angry at Sal's, and all of a sudden, Mookie just grabbed a trash can. He grabbed the trash can, walking to he walking to his room. He walking to the Sal's place, and when Mookie started to come out, he smashed. He had his trash can and drew it and smashed into the window with a broken glass. And everybody came out there at the Sal's Pizza, crashing the Sal's Pizza. They had made a mess. They had took everything. They had took the things. They had beaten the cash registers. And they crashed this place. Hi, AZ. Hey, AZ, how's it going? And it was a mess. It was mayhem. Sal's begging them to stop it. And just like it says, no justice, no peace. They did this whole stuff all again for Waylon Hurricane. And they set this place on fire. So anyway, that's what Spike Lee's knowing about. He was knowing about this whole little country when he did start moving in the first place. That was 31 years ago. They did the side pieces place, and they set the place on fire. So that's what happens. We always know about the things that we're talking about every single time on this movie. And this movie right now is so inspiring. It's inspiring. It's dramatic. It's an epic, and it's sad. And when set, and then police came in out there. And then they're all concerned. The police came down now to stop this riot. So now Sal's Pizza has been ruined. Now, I don't get this. People don't get this, and I don't know how to watch it, but it was a good movie. It was a good movie. Waylon Hurricane has weight on. It was absolutely paramount up there in Brooklyn and outside the Sal's Pizza. And Spike Lee made this, as a matter of fact. So that's why. So now Sal's Pizza has been born down. It was a good movie. Now let's go back to this. It was a perfect movie. Now let's go down. Wow. Now here's Spike Lee, and it says Spike Lee recognizes how we reveal his 1989 film. Do the Right Thing continues to be the Oscar-winner filmmaker shot short film Sunday night called Three Brothers, referring to Eric Garner, and George Floyd, black men who died in the hands of police. And William Wahine, let's go there for this again. Spike Lee recognizes how revealing his 1989 film, Do the Right Thing continues to be. The Oscar-winning filmmaker shot a short film Sunday night called Three Brothers, referring to Eric Garner and George Floyd, black men who died in the hands of the police, and William Wahine shot the kill in Lee's feature film. The 94-second video cuts back and forth between William Wahine on screen death, and cell phone footage of officers choking Garner and Floyd. He died 6 years ago and 1 week ago, respectively, before his death on May 25th, May 25th. That was last week. Floyd echoed Garner's final words. I can't believe. Lee released the short during an appearance on CNN. He told Oscar Don Lemon that the attack of black bodies for him the get-go. He said that While he doesn't necessarily condone violence, he understands why people are reacting to Floyd's death, as well as other incidents of police brutality. Ones happening nationwide are not new, Lee continued. We saw this with the riots in the 60s, with the assassination of Dr. King. Every time something jumps off and we don't get our justice, people are reacting the way they feel they had to be hard. That's real Raheem. I mean, I talk about Ray Raheem for that way that now people are fed up and people are tired of this person. The killing of black parties. The full Mississippi's, I mean, the four Minneapolis officers involved in Floyd's death were fired the next day. But it wasn't until Friday that Chevin, Derek Chauvin, who was captured on video pressing his knee into the handcuffing Floyd's neck, was arrested on more charges last year after nearly half a decade of legal proceedings. The Justice Charles. Last year, after nearly half a decade of legal proceedings, the Justice Department decided to bring federal charges against anyone involved in Ghana's death, including Dylan Pantalo, the former new law officer, seen on video with his arm around Ghana's neck. Demonstrators after Floyd's death swarmed across the stand, as Lee Noy has been asking many times before. Why are people rioting? Why are people rioting? Why are people doing this? Doing that? And do the right thing. Waylon Raheem, who is arguably positioning as the moral center of the film when he speaks to Mookie about the struggle between love and hate, chokes to death at the hands of the new law officer after getting into a fight with a PSO white owner. After this climate morning, Mookie drawing a trash can through the PSO window, sparkling in white that leads to international arrest. On CNN, Lee criticized internet reveals that claim the film will encourage viewers to write. He also spoke about this on its 25th anniversary. Telling Rolling Stone he couldn't recall people saying people were going to come out or dudes killing people after they watched Arnold Schwarzenegger films. After Little asking Lee to respond to the crucial made no ways against public. That's what they said. Figures like them, it says they understand why some demonstrators are behaving as they are. The filmmaker says the reason why people are out is because black people are killed left and right. It has nothing to do with you and I. This isn't the first time Lee has reversed do the right thing in light of current events. After Garner died in 2014, Lee shared a different video comparing the cell phone first with Waylon Raheem. Waylon Raheem's death. The film itself was inspired by real life, according to the Washington Post as a United Day concludes with a declaration to the families of uniformed bombers. Michael Griffith, Arthur Miller, Evelyn Perry, Devon Smallwood, and Michael Stewart. Black New Yorkers killed before the film's release. And a teacher reading in 1619, a reference to the young enslaved episode was were forced onto the English colonies, lead told Limmer that it's been the same thing and now we have camels. 1619 was 5 centuries ago. 5 centuries later is 2020. Now, the foundation of the United States of America is built upon the stealing the land from negro people and God corruption, coupled with slavery, he said. George Washington, George Washington, the first president, on 123 slaves. So this stuff is not new. And people are fed up. That's what it is. People are very fed up. Yes, it is. That's what we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are living in the 21st century when black people were killed, and it isn't funny. It isn't funny at all. None. It's not funny at all. I gotta say this. Those are bad cops, but now, well, now, here it is. I know things will look at you, but look, we have to show love and respect for one another. It's either way. We have to respect for one another. And now, we also know the people are now protesting. And we'll start again, and possibly tonight, there will be chaos. More chaos to come. I hope we won't be able to see it out there in Raleigh like it is last night. Now, people are also protesting, and now we have AJ says, "Oh, yeah, I know this is going for." It says people are also protesting in my home county, my home country. Now, they're all protesting in his home country. That's where he was at. So things are now. Spike Lee was doing something. He was doing something for sure. And yeah, Spike Lee said that the movie called "Do the Right Thing" was just over 30 years ago. Over 3 years ago, we had just seen. And I gotta tell you what, well, Wahine had his radio on, and listens. He turned the radio up. His radio was so loud, and that's what everybody likes. That's what I was listening to. And George Floyd, at the age of 46, wouldn't live. He wouldn't be living today. And Martin Luther King told us today, back in the day, that we have to stand up for violence. This is no violence. This will be no killing, and this will be no nothing about it since back in the 1960s. It takes all the way back to 1619, now 2020. To from 1619 to 2020. It is what it is. That's how it goes. But where the people in the state, in the United States are going along? Where will people in America go along? Atlanta, New York, Los Angeles, Boston, Raleigh, Minneapolis, and Texas, Miami, Orlando, everybody. Are they protesting right now? Yes, they are. Are they protesting right now? Yes, they are. Are they having rights? Are they going to have some rights here tonight? And they're going to have some more rights up there to go out there and tear their place up? Yes, they are too. But, but anyway, well, they talk about in the movie, on that movie, what they did to Will Wahine on that movie. What they did to George Floyd, on the neck was wrong. The same thing they did to Waylon Wayne. After the policeman killed Waylon Wayne's radio and the bad guy ended Wayne's life. That's all I got to say. And for people in the streets here knows that everybody knows what they are going to. They are going through the way by now. Now George Floyd, there are no funerals on George Floyd. And that's what they say on us for sure. And yes, it is. It is what it is. It will never happen but then for a long time. And there is only one. He is responsible for doing this. Now we have to stand together. No justice, no peace, and everything that goes around here. Now in Philadelphia, they have protesters marching. Minneapolis, they have honored the life of George Floyd. They have honored the life of George Floyd months ago. They have paid their respects to George Floyd, and their mothers had never been broken. And yes, they are. It has been tough. It has been sadness. It has been frustration and more. And Spike Lee, whatever Spike Lee has talked about, there is no has and had nots. There is no if loving you is wrong. That's what Tyler Perry is doing. And for sure, that's it. That's life we have been living. All we're going to have is peace, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. I just cannot say. And this is for the people. The people that stand here together. They are tired of racism, they are tired of killing, and they are tired of violence. And it has got to stop. For sure, there is everything on TV, like they saw everything on TV, had those cell phones on camera that they had seen or what they've been that had showing. They had cell phones on camera or what they're showing. And as of right now, I have got to say, it has been tough. It has been tough. We're going to talk about this tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I don't know for sure, but anyway. This is what people that know that we are talking about. We're going to see this for a long time. We're going to remember for a long time. We're going to see this every year, and every continue. But that's what we have to stand for, and we have to look closely. That we have been grateful. We have been grateful for the white. We have been grateful for the people. The people in this country are living. And living a hateful war is what Spike Lee is talking about. The same way. First, it was stood back in the 80s, early 80s, in the late 90s in the movie, what they did to Will Wahine. And last week it was George Floyd. And it is what it is. That's the way it goes. Will we see protesters marching? Will we see whites stop? There's no way. There's no way you're going, and there's no way the people are going to turn up. You may be angry to someone, but there's no way you're going to go up there and tear this shit up, lower and burn the places, burn the buildings, burn vehicles. There's no way, and it's got to stop. No freaking way.